Yo, what's going on, boys? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the other ironbanner weapon, the recently updated Peacebond, the 3-burst sidearm. This weapon got a perk refresh, so that it has a lot more modern perks and just perks that it didn't have before. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at what are some of those new perks, what are some of the best ones, and the ones that you should be looking for if you're looking for a god roll on this weapon. And afterwards, we'll have a mini review where I talk about the positives, the negatives, and things I like or dislike about the sidearm. Now with this sidearm, we're going to have both PvP and PvE perks, but it definitely leans a lot more towards PvP with this sidearm. But regardless, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you do, remember to leave a like, and subscribe to the channel in case you guys haven't already, for more videos like this, as well as builds. And now, let's get into it, and the very first thing we gotta talk about is how to actually get this weapon. And getting this weapon is going to be pretty simple. All you have to do is just go play some ironbanner, and once you're high enough rank, you're going to be able to unlock it from Saladin, and after that you can use your engrams to focus it, and get a lot more of these. You can also get it at the end of matches, but that's a lot more random, especially with the amount of weapons we have in the pool. This weapon comes with a Skulking Wolf origin trait, meaning that in PvP it enhances your radar, and it also removes you from the radar when you get a kill. Now in PvE, while this perk is active, combatants will become less accurate when targeting you, so it's just less likely they actually hit you. It seems like Bungie's been pushing this mechanic a lot more lately, with Amplified now giving it to you, as well as this perk. So I wonder if they're going to start making perks relating to this. I wouldn't be surprised if they start doing that in the future. But now let's move on, and actually let's take a look at the perks that we have on this weapon. Now both of these perk columns, I would say they're pretty stacked with some good perks. We have more good perks than we have bad ones. But we're not going to be taking a look at every single perk. We're essentially just going to be taking a look at the best ones, because I know that's what you guys are after. And afterwards we'll mention any cool combinations, and at the very end we'll go over some god rolls that you should be looking for on this weapon. So let's not waste any more time, let's get into it, and let's start with the very first stray perk. Now these are going to be the options that we have here for the very first stray perk. We have Headstone, Moving Target, Lone Wolf, Rangefinder, Subsistence, and lastly Send Moment. We don't really have too many perks, we just have the standard sets. Now starting off for PvE, you either want to go with Headstone or Subsistence. Subsistence will make it so you don't have to reload as often, since you're going to be constantly putting rounds back into the magazine with every kill. While Headstone will play great into any stasis build, especially those that specialize in crystals, but even by itself it's still going to be pretty useful, because every time that you make that crystal, it does a little bit of AoE damage around it, and that's pretty nice for any sort of act clear. Now when it comes to the Crucible, you have a couple more options, but I would say the main two that you want to look for are either Lone Wolf or Send Moment. Send Moment is going to make this thing just crazy accurate. This thing becomes a laser beam with Send Moment, and the extra flinch assistance is also going to be very nice, since it'll let you stay on target and not just get flinched off. Now Lone Wolf is also going to be fantastic, and it actually might be the go-to perk in this slot, because it gives you all that aim assist, it gives you a faster aim down sight speed, and it also gives you airborne effectiveness. All stats that are just absolutely fantastic in the sidearm. There's not a stat here that you wouldn't be able to use. And Lone Wolf is just going to be really strong, and it's going to make this thing into a 1v1 machine. I think it's going to be very hard to outgun this weapon if you're anywhere close to its intended range. This thing is just going to be so good with Lone Wolf. So those are going to be the perks that I suggest that you go for in this first column for both PvP, PvE. And now let's move on to the second one. Now these are going to be the options that we have for the second trait perk. We have Rhyme Stealer, Desperate Measures, Head Seeker, Desperado, Frenzy, and lastly Kill Clip. And let's start this off with PvE, and I think the best ones in PvE are going to be either Rhyme Stealer or Frenzy, with us also mentioning Desperado afterwards. So first of all, let's start with Rhyme Stealer. Rhyme Stealer is what you want to go for if you are using this on a stasis build, or you're using this with Headstone. It basically is going to give you a ton of frost armor used for free, used for breaking crystals. So if you're on a build that makes a lot of crystals, you can basically get a ton of frost armor stacks used by using this weapon and break some crystals. And with the recent buffs that Frost Armor got, that I actually don't really see a lot of people talking about, Frost Armor now gives you a ton of damage resistance. It's some of the highest damage resistance that are just built into a subclass, so definitely something that you want to take a look into. So Rhyme Stealer is going to be fantastic on this weapon, but for anybody else that just wants to use this weapon in PvE, I think Frenzy is going to be your best bet. Now this is going to give you a 15% damage boost, as well as max out your handling and your reload speed, essentially making the weapon feel very snappy and have tons of reload. You can never go wrong with Frenzy when it comes to like PvE, especially with the crazy amount of uptime it's got in PvE. You basically never lose Frenzy, till an encounter is done. Like once once those 15 seconds in combat have happened, you're not gonna lose it till you die or till everything else is dead. So it's really good if you want your weapon to use consistently, be doing more damage, as well as have some crazy reload speed. And the final one that I want to mention is Desperado. This will increase your RPM after getting a precision kill. And since getting precision kills with this weapon is very easy, this is a perk that you can proc use over and over again. The higher RPM will definitely let you go through things a lot faster, but you also go through your ammo a lot faster, so you need to reload a lot more often. I would say that Desperado, it's okay, but definitely not as good as Frenzy. And now let's move on to the Crucible. And for the Crucible, the main two ones that you want to look for are going to be either Kill Clip or Head Seeker. Kill Clip is kind of insane on this weapon. Your base TTK is already pretty good at like 0.73, but once you add Kill Clip into the mix, you drop it down to a 0.5, or if somebody's A Resilience or lower, which a lot of the people are in Crucible, it drops it down to a 0.43, which is a ridiculous TTK. This is going to be one of the fastest killing weapons in the Crucible, and a lot of people won't even get a chance to react whenever you start hitting them with Kill Clip. They'll just be dead by the time they realize you're melting them with the sidearm. This is just a ridiculous TTK that's definitely going to make this weapon pretty popular in the Crucible. Especially for 6v6 modes like normal Crucible and Iron Banner, places where you could really chain up kills, you're basically just going to be running through teams with this absolutely crazy TTK with Kill Clip. Now you want more consistency for like, let's say 3v3 modes like competitive and trials, then you should go for Head Seeker. Now Head Seeker, well, it won't reduce your TTK to something ridiculous like Kill Clip, it will give you a lot more consistency. Every time that you hit a body shot, you get increased aim assist, as well as increased headshot damage. Meaning that it's going to be a lot easier to reach that optimal TTK. And once you pair it up with some perks in the first column, Head Seeker is going to become amazing. Head Seeker is actually what I'm using in the background gameplay. So if you guys have been wondering what I'm using, it is a Head Seeker role. And it just feels amazing. I've been having a lot of fun with Head Seeker on the sidearm. And it's very deadly. People definitely don't expect you to just be able to melt them like you do with the sidearm. It's fantastic. So those are pretty much going to be your two choices for Crucible. It kind of depends on the playstyle that you want with the sidearm. Do you want more consistency? Go with Head Seeker. Or do you want to go on some crazy streaks? Then go with Kill Clip. That's pretty much it. And now let's talk about some god rules, and let's start with the Crucible. In the Crucible, you can go with Head Seeker plus Lone Wolf. You want just as much consistency as you can, but you could also switch out Lone Wolf for Send Moment, and it'll still be pretty good. Same with Kill Clip. I think Kill Clip Lone Wolf is gonna be the best, but Send Moment can easily replace Lone Wolf if you want to. Now for PvE, Rhyme Stealer plus Headstone is always gonna be a good combo, but you also have other roles like Subsistence plus Frenzy that will also work pretty well. Subsistence plus Desperate Measures. I know I didn't really speak about Desperate Measures, but it's a pretty solid damage perk, especially because you can activate it with a weapon and with abilities, and it has some pretty high uptime in PvE, so that's something that you can also run with Subsistence. As long as one of the perks on your right is paired up with Headstone or Subsistence, you're pretty much going to have a pretty good time. And those are pretty much going to be the god rolls that I recommend that you guys go for. If you guys have any other roles that you guys want to recommend, make sure you leave them down in the comments below. Or if you want to tell me about a perk that maybe I didn't take into account but definitely should have, let me know that in the comments below. Or if you want to share a good role that you got recently, also leave it down in the comments below. And now let me tell you a little bit about this weapon and just kind of what I feel about it. Now for this sidearm, I feel like it's going to be pretty okay in PvE. I don't really see it being like a huge deal, mostly because the sidearms that really do get play in PvE are essentially like the kinetic tremor sidearms. And now with the rocket sidearms also into the mids, it's very hard for like the normal sidearms to actually get some play in PvE unless they're like really special. And I don't think that this one brings anything super unique to the table, so you probably won't be seeing a lot in PvE. But now when it comes to the Crucible, it's a whole different story, because I definitely think that this is going to be one of the most popular sidearms when it comes to the Crucible. I think it's going to be right up there with the Drain, where you see somebody with it and you already dread having any like close range fights with them, because it's just so good at that. It is just ridiculous, just the amount of damage you can put out, and it's going to be able to melt you. And the even better thing about this is that it's also very easy to use. It has tons of aim assist, and with the amazing perks that it's got, even increasing some of that aim assist even farther, getting kills with this thing will never be easier. It's definitely going to be a close range monster, and it's going to be something that you take into account when pushing somebody. Because if you get caught in the open, like the sidearm, it's going to melt you super quickly. And that's before taking kill clip into account. Once you throw kill clip into the mix with this sidearm, it just becomes disgusting. And I would not be surprised if you see this one all the time in 6v6. Like I said, in 3v3s you probably won't see it as often with kill clip. You'll still see it, but definitely not as often as Headseeker, since in 3v3 people just prioritize getting the pick most of the time instead of getting follow-up kills. But yeah, this sidearm is going to be a PvP beast and definitely a staple of the Crucible for sidearms. All the sidearm mains are gonna be rocking this for sure for a while. But anyways, with that, we're gonna end today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys liked it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you guys think about the sidearm? Are you gonna be using it for PvP, for PvE? And do you think that we're gonna be getting anything better than this anytime soon? Because I think that this one's gonna be on top for a while. Once again, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for stopping by, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.